The new iPad, now you can get it. The new Android OS, you can't really get it yet. And I'll show you a pile of Ultrabooks this week on SpoonFed Mobile. The big news this week is the new iPad, and a lot of people have been lining up around the block to get their hands on one, and we just did. We're going to show you some of our first impressions. So far we really love the display because the Retina screen on this device gives you quadruple the number of pixels that you had before, and if you really zoom in, you can't even make out the pixels. It's like the display is painted on, and it really shines on applications like iPhoto. So if we open up that, you can see that the picture quality is pretty amazing, and a lot of people are going to take advantage of the new camera as well. There's an iSight camera on the back that lets you take 5 megapixel photos as well as 1080p video. And that's not something that you've been able to do before on the iPad. We don't think a lot of people want to shoot with a relatively big device, but we welcome the upgrade in quality. The other big thing with the new iPad is that it has 4G LTE speeds from both AT&T or Verizon. You can take your pick. And so far, the browsing speed is great, but there's a couple of caveats that people should know about. One, you can't download applications that are bigger than 50 megabytes, which is a big bummer because you want to be able to download those big games on the go. And the other thing is that you can't do FaceTime calls over 4G LTE. So I think people are going to want to think twice about getting and spending a lot more per month for their new iPad. Overall, the Apple iPad is the best tablet on the market because it has the best selection of applications at over 200,000 of them. But I think we're going to stick with the Wi-Fi only model for now until the carriers let consumers do more with that 4G LTE connection.
When will then be now? Soon.
When will then be now? Soon. Those beloved words from the Spaceballs movie describe exactly what Android phone owners face when it comes to getting the latest version of Google's OS on their smartphones. Earlier this month, Verizon issued a press release saying that a whopping 14 of their handsets were going to be getting the latest version of Android Ice Cream Sandwich on their devices. When we asked them when, they said sometime this year. Yay, vague promises! People are getting frustrated with the fact that they're just not getting the latest OS on their devices. And we asked this question of Motorola, and they told us that it's not so much the heavy skins that they're putting on top of their phones, it's all about the hardware and all the different radios and the processors and the different screen sizes. But you know what? The end user doesn't care. Why should they have to wait to do things like swipe applications off their screen or stare at their phone to unlock it? Android Ice Cream Sandwich debuted back in December, back when Herman Cain was still in the GOP race. So here we are 3.5 months later, and the Galaxy Nexus is the only smartphone on the market that's new, that's running the software. Pretty soon is not going to be good enough. You know what else is coming soon? The iPhone 5. If you haven't heard the term Ultrabooks yet, you will. Ultrabooks are Windows-powered answers to the MacBook Air, and Intel is spending millions of dollars to promote the category. So what defines an Ultrabook? They're all about 0.8 inches thin or less. They wake from sleep instantly because they have flash memory, and they last at least 5 hours on a charge. But what Ultrabooks are worth your money? Here are my 5 top picks. At number 5 on my list is Dell's XPS 13, which for $999 gives you a body that's smaller than the MacBook Air. You get a really cool carbon fiber bottom, a speedy SSD, plus Intel Smart Connect technology allows you to get tweets and emails even while the lid is closed. The only thing missing is an SD card slot. At number 4 on my list is the HP Folio 13, which is the long-distance runner of Ultrabooks because it lasts nearly 8 hours on a charge, which is about an hour longer than any of the competition. You also get an old-school Ethernet port for those times where you can't find Wi-Fi. The touchpad is a little bit on the stiff side, but overall this is a really great choice for business users. And the third spot is the Toshiba Portege Z835, which is the Ultrabook bargain of the year so far because it's only $799. The Core i3 processor isn't the fastest, but this is 2.4 pounds, making it the lightest Ultrabook on the market. My second favorite Ultrabook is the Samsung Series 9 13-inch, which is a refresh from last year's model, and as you can tell, it has an awesome display. It's 1600 by 900 pixels and great viewing angles. And it's also super thin at just 0.4 inches, and it's 2.6 pounds. Just make sure you bring money for this baby, because it costs about $100 more than the MacBook Air. And the winner is the ASUS ZenBook UX31. For $200 less than the MacBook Air, you're getting a sharper screen, louder speakers, and a super fast SSD. Plus, we actually prefer the design of the ZenBook UX31 to the MacBook Air because you have this really cool spun metal finish. Add it all up, and you have my favorite Ultrabook.